Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassa, how are you?
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassa, how are you?
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassa, how are you?
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassa, how are you?
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassa, how are you?
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner.
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassa, how are you?
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Real Talk Corner, where conversation sparks change and every voice matters. And this is your host, Dr. Esther Cruickshank, and joining me is my co-host, the beautiful, bubbly Hadassa. Child's background. You see, look at that bubbly face. Doesn't look as though it's tired. I know she's tired from a long day's work, but you know, it's so good to have you on, Hadassa, tonight, and I want to welcome you to this episode of Real Talk Corner. And you know, tonight, I want to start by saying Shuk Diwali to my Hindu brothers and sisters, and you would see I have a lot of colors and stuff representing Diwali time. You know, it is a festival that our Hindu brothers and sisters take to their heart, and we celebrate with them. All right, so tonight we have a lot of things to talk about, but let me welcome my co-host and let her do her greetings before we move on.
Oh my goodness, it's the pressure to deliver the bubbles, you all. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It's so good to be in another episode of Real Talk Corner once again. Um, I always like this part of the day where we get to discuss the things that are happening in our country that are affecting us in real time. One of those things is the fact that we're celebrating the Diwali holiday on Monday. So let me say Shub Diwali to our Hindu brothers and sisters. I love Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know another country where you'll have a Hindu temple next to a mosque, opposite a church. Um, what we have is so very unique, and I feel like we need to fight really very hard to protect and preserve that because you're not going to find that anywhere else in the world, even when they have the freedom to worship as they please. I feel like we do it best in Trinidad and Tobago. So I hope everybody is gearing up for the long weekend and they have their plans. I don't know who's cooking curry or going to be visiting with friends and whatnot, but whatever you do, enjoy it. And yeah, we're going to have some conversation tonight. How are you doing, Esther?
Girl, I'm doing fantastic. I am happy. I took a little time today to listen to the debate, to listen to the opposition response to the budget, and it was so comical. It actually felt. Look who should come up on the screen. Listen, when he came on, I thought it was a comedian. You understand? And I heard somebody said that
Looks
you
like
know, his
Junior Lee.
father built his father built a church building, and he is complaining about the price of alcohol. Listen, it was as though it is the P&M financial budget they were talking about. They were talking about people not being happy of things that was said that is going to happen. And I said, they really think that they are the ones who presenting the budget, because every time they present the budget, people are never happy. People are always complaining, and they have all this. Listen, I thought it was a comedian festival taking place in the parliament today. Of course, I am happy. There are many people, everybody I talk to are so happy for, what the finance minister presented. People felt a sense of release. People are happy to go at the gas station and be able to save 50 and plus more dollars buying their gas. And the PNM want people to believe that because one of them said they gave with one hand and they're taking back with the other hand because they're asking the banking sector and the corporate to pay more taxes, and they were not paying any taxes before. So now is the time, if they want to be a part of the growth and stabilization of this country, is the time for all of them to participate in paying some taxes, not just the small man to pay taxes. So it's a bunch of greedy politicians on the opposite side, which is on the opposition side right now. And they're hurting, they're feeling so hurt that taxes didn't go up. They're feeling hurt that the gas went down. They're feeling hurt. Hadassa, it was like a circus in the parliament. As a matter of fact, it is still going on. And these people are a bunch of clowns. I listened to a part of Dolly, what is her name? Gatsby Dolly. Listen, these names
I am
started to just
Gaspidali.
evade out of my head because they're so insignificant right now. People don't want to hear about them. And she stood up there and ranting and raving about, the porous budget and the this. And I'm like, oh my God, they so know that their supporters are accustomed to the depression that is felt after the budget is read. The depression that people run into the gas station to fill up their tanks quickly, run into the supermarket to buy up as much as they can buy with the finance they have in their hand. And now it's free sailing. People are shopping freely. You have no set a line. Well, of course, for those who are shopping for their Diwali, goodies and whatever to do their celebration. But I tell you, the place is so relaxed. It is so light. People are not, I don't know where they get those information, but people complaining. It have to be their own supporters, you understand? So I am happy tonight. I am not accustomed going and making no set of groceries in any case for anything because I don't celebrate any holidays. Christmas, Easter, I don't celebrate none of them. And when I celebrate every year that I become a day older, I don't even go shopping because, I cater my stuff for my needs, all right? So it is really, really a privilege to be in this time and to see, how people are feeling the lightness of persons who are just telling themselves, oh, this is it. We have reached a place in Trinidad and Tobago where we can relax, where we can just take a breath, a deep breath, and feel the sense of fresh air. It's a new breeze that is blowing in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are thankful and grateful for it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you were able to look at the opposition leader's response. I didn't get to look at it, but based on what you are saying, I think people forget that for the last 10 years, we have lived in a country where the rich were allowed to get richer. And they did that by squeezing the poor, by squeezing the middle class. So now our present administration has decided to flip that a little bit and to allow those who actually can afford it to pay not necessarily more, but their fair share. And the way that the PNM mines are exploding is really interesting to watch because they play this game of pretending to care about people, about citizens and whatnot, but they really, really don't because they were the first ones when CPAP was disbanded, who was protesting outside the Red House when Prime Minister Moody was here, and they were doing all these things, and they so care about poor people. They so care about poor people, but now poor people are actually getting a chance to breathe just today. Effective today, there are 16 items at the grocery store that are now zero rated, meaning that the 12.5% VAT that was applied to those items no longer apply, which means you're going to have a little more money when you go to the grocery store. You're going to have more, you'll be able to buy more, you're going to be able to do more. When you go to the pumps, you're saving money, and yet still they don't seem to be happy. So I keep asking myself what it is they want. Or is it that they are just performing the function of an opposition, which it seems that they are just opposing for the sake of opposing? And I understand that this is the way that our democratic system is set up. We have a government and we have an opposition, and that is how it is set up. But I feel that it also should make sense, and the opposition leader has not made much sense since she was appointed that position, But as I keep saying, the caravan is moving on. The brayers will bray, the dogs will bark. But like Esther said, the people who have been affected, who have been feeling it for the last 10 years, can finally breathe a little bit, can finally feel as though they are not carrying around so much weight. I saw a clip, and I don't know if by chance the producer has it. But this was some years ago, I believe, when Colm Imbert read a budget, and he was saying it was either he read one or he was going to, and he was laughing. He was laughing, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, the fees that I added or the taxes that I added is causing so much pain. Could you imagine when I add more? Oh my gosh." And he was laughing at the people. He has always laughed at us. He has always sneered at us, even when he talked about the fact he raised gas by 15% and another 15%, and they in riot yet. This is the disdain. This is how they approached governing, right? As if we did not matter, as if the decisions that they made in those chambers did not have a real time effect on people's lives, and they did not care, right? So I am not here for the pretense. I am not here for the appearance of caring. right? The PNM has shown that they did not care about people, and we now live under an administration that actually does care about people. And at the end of the day, it is not for the opposition to say whether or not people are happy. It is actual human beings, real lives, real families who can say, this is these are better circumstances. I am happier. I have more money in my pocket. That is all that matters. That has always been the role and function of government, which is the well being of its people. I will end there for now.
Exactly. And so true. Remember I said last night, look out today for the PNM propaganda. They're going to come with it. And you hear things coming out from the opposition leaders now that the UNC don't care about the people and others. You know, when I listen to the MP for Labray and Point 14, when they talk about the neglect in their constituency over the years, I am like, you know, and after all of that, you heard the MP4, I think it's San Fernando. Which one Brian Manning won? East or West? I think it's West. Whichever one he won, he got up there talking. I told you, I thought I was in a comedian fest because he made himself a clown. I was like, no, this can't be real. He cannot be for real. They are operating, they are on themselves over the past years as to what they did to people and how disgruntled and upset people to the budget. Also, they're talking about the alcohol and how people wouldn't be able to buy alcohol. Who make you feel so? I was listening to the radio and everybody talking about they buying the alcohol and the chase and whatever. That is not stopping the people from buying their alcohol. So they're just wasting their time. The people know who they are, and I believe that the PNM will never see the corridors of power in a very, very, very long time because the UNC MPs and ministers are working, and our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, she's working. Just imagine, Gatsby Dolly will get up to talk about our Prime Minister having been in the house for the day. That's your business, mind your own business, and you do what you're supposed to do. Do and represent your constituency. Don't study our Prime Minister. She's a hard worker, 10 times harder than what we ever had under the PNM. So don't mind our business. All you need to mind all your business. I said it. And I heard other people saying it, and I'm going to say it again tonight. Learn to shut up, sit down, learn, listen, and all you would be able to come back at probably the next 20 years or so. Because as far as I am concerned, you all are dead. PNM is dead. Probably never motivated or coming alive again. All you're dead. So keep quiet and learn so that all you could start to be reborn and start to creep and then to walk again. That might take you all the next 15 to 20 years. You all ain't coming back. People don't really want to hear you all, even your own supporters. Some of them don't even want to hear you. And the handful who are agreeing with all your foolishness, well, you could go and burn and have some retreat and stuff and see what you all can come up with. But we are happy. We are looking forward with expectation to see how everything is going to unfold. You listen to our Honorable Finance Minister. You listen to other Honorable Ministers and you hear the genuinity. You feel it that they are here to work with the people and to elevate the people and to help the people become who they're supposed to be as real citizens, because the PNM never treated citizens as real citizens. They used to treat them as though we are real animals. You understand? We from the gutter, we from the desert, we from the jungle. That is how they used to treat us. And according to Hadassa, the finance minister, he would giggle, he would giggle and laugh as to what he's doing. They ain't riot yet. I ain't hear nobody do this yet. Well, okay, thank God they didn't do it, and they will not do it again, because they have a real government with real people with hearts of compassion. All of our ministers, there are very few of them that I don't hear about, but I can name a few. We have MP Jerlyn John, we have MP Kadisha, we have MP Barry Padarat, we have MP Saddam Hussein, we have MP Munilal, we have MP Michelle Benjamin, we have MP, what's the one from Point 14? We have MP from Labre. He is elder. We have so much. MP David Lee. We have who again? There's so much, and you hear about them working. There's just a few that you're not hearing about, and believe me, they too are working. So listen, PNM, I'm so sad. Oh. And then we have Tobago. Oh my gosh, I can't forget Tobago. Tobago is ecstatic with what they have received, what they know they're going to receive, and they're standing strong together with us in Trinidad. Side by side we stand. Islands of the Blue Caribbean Seas. I am proud to say our anthem now, not like before. All right, so they have no chance. Hadassa, do they have a chance, girl? With all these MP working?
They, they don't have a chance, which means they have to default to their usual antics, which is to deflect and which is to lie. So today in
And
Parliament,
how,
Saddam Hussein,
Hadassa, how could I leave out the Prime Minister? MP for Superior.
of
How
course,
could I leave out, and how could I leave out MP, he's the Minister of Health. MP Budu? Tanku is
yes,
the finance, but then we have Budu.
yes.
Anyhow, we have a few of them, but I can't leave out our honorable Prime Minister. Listen, it is an overwhelming thing. Yeah,
Yes.
he's not an MP, but he's a minister of the Ministry of AI. Is that artificial something? Dominic Smith. We can't leave
Smith,
out
yes.
these people who have been working hard. And we
Yes.
have the Speaker of the House. We have the President of the Senate. These are hard working, the Deputy Speaker. Listen, these people are working. Look at her. I'm proud of our MPs. I am proud of them. And she made history today. The first female wearing a hijab in the House of Parliament. Come on, man. We make history on the UNC. I am proud of these men and women who have the first female Prime Minister and the second female Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bissessa, SC MP. It is something to rejoice about. We have made history. PNM, all your dogs done. All your dogs done. Go. All you go and sit down. Take my stupid advice. Sit down, shut up, and listen, and then learn how to operate. You see the love? She always holding somebody, always greeting somebody. She don't go back and roof and telling people to go and move out and man stoops and all them kind of. This honorable woman never does that. And we would continue to stand with her. Ups and downs, there is life. There is always ups and downs. And this is no different, but we will stand with her and we would see Trinidad and Tobago come to the top of the ladder. We would be the best country in the Caribbean and in the world when it comes to serving the people, putting God in front and serving the people. And that's all that is matter. Nothing better than that right now. PNM could say what they want in that parliament. All your loss.
The opposition leader commenced a contribution with a grim warning to the population.
These policies of the UNC government are an economic crisis in the making, the likes of which we have not seen in the last 40 years.
Penelope Backles went as far as to say it's the single biggest con job in the country's history.
This budget is one of deception, treachery, and betrayal.
And one of those acts of betrayal the opposition leader claimed was the raising of the alcohol prices.
No government in the history of Trinidad and Tobago has imposed this level of punishment on ordinary people, whose only relaxation is often the occasional drink on a Friday night after a hard week's work, or a river line, or at the beach.
Backles said the UNC is not only killing the industry with this move, but also the vibe in the upcoming festive season.
Listen now. Who is the government that does punish the people of Trinidad and Tobago when they read a budget? She is saying no government ever put out this level of punishment to the people. I mean, you're going to relax. Do you have
Projected
to drink
revenue
alcohol
while
to relax?
understating it.
And yes, if you want to drink alcohol, you're going to pay the price. And there are many who are going to pay the price. These people can be right. I think all of them are going through dementia. All of them. Eh? All you remember COVID? All you remember COVID? It's nothing like that. You understand? And she wanted to talk about punishment. We were punished to the max under COVID. And she wanted to talk about punishment. Oh my God, Hadassa. Talk to me, Hadassa.
I mean, let's not forget there is a difference between choosing to buy alcohol for your own vices, and not having a choice in terms of the price of groceries, right? So the prime minister have now given people a choice. And in this country, where Trinidadians love to line, where carnival, people can't wait for carnival, it is not going to have any effect whatsoever. Christmas is around the corner as well. Trust me, alcohol sales is going to continue to remain where it's at, right? But now people have more money in their pocket when they go to the groceries. And the PNM can only lie and deflect. It was today that Saddam Hussein revealed in Parliament that um, reports coming from the Ministry of Finance that they paid Rhoda Barrett $3.2 million, right? Over, I think, was the last 10 years to spread her lies and her propaganda, right? And all they're doing is lying. David, do you have that clip where they spoke about the NIS, no, the 10% wages for PSA workers, where Saddam had to say, because Mbert is saying that they offered the workers 9%. And that is a lie. That is a lie. Do you have the clip, David?
Diego Martin Northeast, as usual, got himself in a lot of problems this week. Posting and tweeting rubbish. Normal. With respect to the wage negotiations for public servants, Mr. Speaker. You remember come out boldly and said that he offered 9%. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to be unparliamentary in here, but you're here. That is... Mr. Speaker, look, I have the letter in my hand here, 17th of June 2022, written to Mr. Leroy Batiste, now Senator Batiste. Salary for the period January 1, 2014 to 31 December 2016. For 2014, 0%. For 2015, 0%. For 2016, 2%. The other period, 2017 to 2019. 2017, 0%. 2018, 0%. 2019, 2%. So 2 plus 2 gives you what? 4 or 9? And if he thinks 2 plus 2 means 9, Mr. Speaker, we now understand why the country is in this place, you know, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what calculator he using, Mr. Speaker, but he should pelt it away.
Oh gosh. You mean we should send him back to elementary school or infants or kindergarten? He's now learning to count. He's now learning to count. Listen, man, it's lies and more lies. I am so perturbed. You know, these people are crazy. Penny, just imagine she talking. Listen, all of them should sit down and just shut up. Just shut up. You're talking about a fraudulent budget. What is wrong with these people? All of them sitting there going through dementia. And according to Saddam, is lies. They have nothing. That is what the PNM is good for. Propaganda, lies. But the UNC light has come to cover the darkness of the PNM. All you go to the gutters, go to the pit of hell, repent, and come again. But never again would you all see the corridors of power for a very long time. And as I'm saying that, let me again say, Shuk Diwali to the brothers, to my brothers and sisters of the Hindu community. I love you all and we are happy. We are happy. PNM all you go so. Sit down, shut up, listen, learn. Bye-bye.
I am happy. Why you just have to rag them up so, Esther? I had a rough
They
month,
deserve that.
so
They deserve it. You should listen to them in Parliament today. They deserve it. I am telling you, they don't worth our time. Trinidad and Tobago citizens, all you need not to waste all your time on these people who want to suck up to them and continue to drink the Balize's juice. Let them go ahead. But listen, we are free from these PNMites and their wicked device of keeping us in bondage and lying and propaganda and think that we will continue to be fools in this country. No, we are fed up of them. Go ahead, my dear co-host. Don't rock them up like I am doing.
yeah. So as I was saying, all they can do is lie, right? So when Kamala Prasad Bisasa actually keeps her word uh, to public servants and offers them 10% or says that the negotiators can begin at 10%, they have to come out and lie and say, hey, we care about all you too, we offer 9%, when that lie could be immediately obliterated in Parliament. They are so desperate, right? But people are seeing through their lies. You understand? And for PNM, they have a very, very short rope because the roosters are coming home, the chickens are coming home to roost. Very recently, I think it was earlier this week, a judge ruled that Keith Rowley must release the names of all the attorneys that they paid for the Paria investigation, right? That I can't remember what they call it. It was oh my gosh, and they had the guy from London here. It's slipping my mind. But for that, the PNM paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to lawyers who are associated with them, friends and financiers. And they did not want to release the names of these people who have been feeding from the trough for a very, very, very uh, long, long, long time. So they have to fight up, they have to make all these allegations and lies and whatnot because they can do nothing else, right? I think we have a clip now concerning the budget.
The opposition leader commenced a contribution with a grim warning to the population.
These policies of the UNC government are an economic crisis in the making, the likes of which we have not seen in the last 40 years.
Penelope Backles went as far as to say it's the single biggest con job in the country's history.
This budget is one of deception, treachery, and betrayal.
And one of those acts of betrayal the opposition leader claimed was the raising of the alcohol prices.
No government in the history of Trinidad and Tobago has imposed this level of punishment on ordinary people, whose only relaxation is often the occasional drink on a Friday night after a hard week's work, or a river line, or at the beach.
Backles said the UNC is not only killing the industry with this move, but also the vibe in the upcoming festive season.
We probably, in many communities, see bars closing down. This country, as persons now curtail their consumption, the UNC, the Grinch that killed Christmas, limes and a killer of cocktail.
The opposition leader accused the finance minister of overstating projected revenue while understating anticipated debt. She believes in trying to fulfill their campaign promises. The UNC wants to crash the economy to devalue the TT dollar.
We specifically warn the country that the only way they can do this would be if they devalue the dollar, almost 10 to 1. Mr. Speaker, watch them carefully because this is where they are taking us. And remember, we warned you and we are warning you again. If they continue down this road, we will face a full-blown foreign exchange crisis.
The opposition leader said she heard nothing from Devindranath Thakur on stimulating the energy sector, tourism, the creative industries, and she said the government is bereft of ideas to tackle crime.
All they can offer us is plastic bags of hot air.
Citing all the job losses since April 28th, the opposition leader asked the public if they are all winning.
They say they love you, yet they pound you down with a hammer of vengeance. And it is clear that the UNC does not care about the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
And the PNM leader took a swipe at trade unions, who she said have remained mum on the firings and now the adjustments to the retirement age and NIS contributions. The opposition leader said a budget should be about building a nation, not breaking it. The opposition leader commenced to contribute.
So I said before, Hadassa, that these people, they're all over the place. That is why I said they have a level of dementia. Because one moment, she was saying, the Prime Minister going into the, what fund? The HSF fund. Now, they're going to crush the economy and devalue the dollar.
Which one is it?
I know they have dementia. That is the beginning, a level of dementia they're going through. You understand? Because they're not sure of where they are. They're lost. They're going all over the place. That people who have dementia, that's how they behave. Because you have nobody to lead you, to supervise you, to take care of you. All right? But we have an honorable Prime Minister, the mother of this nation, who is taking care of the citizens. She is advising and supervising her ministers, and she is there in everything to make sure that the citizens of this country benefit in every way. We don't suffer from dementia. They need to go and check themselves. Who is the doctor? What was the... Let me don't say anything else. Who is the doctor?
It's so rich though that to hear her talk about she hasn't heard anything from tourism and the stimulation of the economy, right? The PNM who refused to diversify for the last 10 years, right?
Right.
They are now asking what is happening in all these other sectors that they literally left to rot, that they did nothing with. Now it's on the onus is on us now to come and clean up the beaches and reduce the crime rate and to do things to poise our country in a way where people will actually want to come here, where people will actually want to come and do business here. The hypocrisy is outstanding, you know. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. And I will continue to say this. Penelope Beckles, I feel, will go down as one of the biggest mistakes in the PNM's political tenure because she is proving to be such a disappointment. Such a disappointment. That's all I have to say for now, you know. But it is just really outstanding for me.
Listen, I think she's going to go down as the worst political leader of an opposition or the PNM. As a female, I'm ashamed. Whew, I'm ashamed. I'm really ashamed because who is she representing? I mean, maybe Stuart Young might have done a better job. I don't know because, I mean, he is as wicked as everybody else when it comes to dealing with the citizens. They're all about themselves. But oh gosh, Penny girl, remember I told you she's not Penny. She lost her value. She's now 1 cent. She has lost the value of Penny.
They're continuing to harp over the workers' issues, right? When we know they did not care about it when they were there.
Okay, I think Hadassa, my co-host, is kind of sticking. But, you know, we are on the topic of the opposition responding to the budget and just filling the parliament environment with lies because people are not really listening to them. People have been so attentive to hear what the finance minister was presenting and was bringing forward to the country. And now here she's back. And, you know, people are feeling a sense of light. And it happened around the season where the Hindu community celebrate lights, okay, covering darkness. So, you know, we just want to continue to keep this momentum. I want people to know that the ministers and our Prime Minister is working on their behalf. This is what you call representation by who we have elected to work on our behalf, to manage our resources and to ensure that it works for us, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So we are happy There is a roof over our head, and for those who don't have one, soon there's going to be one, because everything is going to fall into place, everything is going to come in place. If you listen to the MPs under the United National Congress who are ministers and who are in different ministries, you would hear how hard they are working, how they are pushing forward to ensure that every creed and race finds an equal place in this country of Trinidad and Tobago. And for that, I am happy. If I get unhappy, I would let you all know. But right now, I am happy because when I go into the trenches, everybody is glad and is looking forward to what is going to be happening, especially for the Christmas season. I'm not a Christmas person. I don't celebrate those things. But everybody I talk to, and I have to be warning them, hello, if you get a little bit of money, please don't go and spend out all. Okay, be wise. And one lady watched me, she said, for 10 years, I ain't get to spend. So she said, Mom, I hear you, but let us spend for this Christmas now. This is a real celebration. This is real people with real, situations. So I told her, I said, okay, Mom, I would leave you to spend, but remember, don't spend all. Still leave a little kakada there, in case something should go wrong during the season. But people are feeling so happy. They are happy for what they have heard. It was a budget of the people and a budget for the people who needs it the most. So I don't know what the opposition is really, like I said, I can't help it. They're going through dementia. The first stage of dementia is what the PNM is going through right now. Okay?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know how much you guys heard before I got stuck. But I was just making the point that they're always going to be unhappy. And I was just saying, whenever the Prime Minister reveals her plan for sustainable jobs and higher paying jobs for people who used to work CPAP and Europe and whatnot, trust me, they're going to have a problem with that again. Penelope Beckles is going to be throwing more tantrums. She's going to be walking out of Parliament more often, and she's going to be sent to the Privileges Committee more often because they are not going to be happy with all the things that the UNT has planned in terms of making people's lives better. And this week, we know Barry Paderat brought a motion of privilege because of they walking out after the budget on Monday. Do we have that clip, Mr. Producer?
Honorable members, I have an announcement to make. On Monday, 13th October 2025, I received a matter of privilege from the member for Couva South in accordance with Standing Order 32-2. The member for Couva South sought leave to raise the following matter. During the sitting of the House of Representatives on Friday, 10th October 2025, members of the opposition bench staged a parliamentary walkout, which was followed by a subsequent statement on their actions by the leader of the opposition member for opposition and member for Arima. The member for Couva South submitted that under the letterhead of the leader of the opposition on 10th October 2025, the following public statement was issued, and I quote, "After months of enduring bias and prejudicial behavior from the presiding officer of the lower house, all members of parliament on the opposition bench were left with no choice but to leave today's sitting. The pattern of unfair treatment and rulings has continued unchecked and unaddressed. It is now beyond question to unbiased observers that the current Speaker of the House has failed in his duty to act impartially and to uphold the Constitution and the standing orders of Parliament. Since assuming the chair, the Speaker has consistently rejected the majority of urgent questions and the Prime Minister's questions filed by the opposition. His refusal to maintain established precedent on supplemental questions is a direct challenge to accountability and transparency in the conduct of the people's business. Another constant feature of recent sittings has been the uneven and unbiased application of the standing orders. The Speaker routinely overlooks inappropriate behavior from members of the government, including disorderly conduct and offensive remarks, yet is quick to silence members on the opposition bench." End quote. The Member of Parliament for Couva South has raised the matter of privilege based on the submission that the member for Arima attempted to bring into disrepute the independent democratic work of the House of Representatives in the eyes of the public for political gain by questioning the independence of the presiding officer. The member for Couva South submitted that this was an act of, and I quote, constructive contempt against the House of Representatives, breaching the privilege of the House as the member's actions seek to obstruct and tarnish the democratic as well as independent management, presiding and rulings of the presiding officer. Members, since receiving this on Monday the 13th, I have undertaken significant research and analysis. Members, today I am prepared to rule on this critical matter. Members, the House of Representatives and the Parliament as an institution represent the foundation of democracy. Democracy, whether what side of the aisles we stand, must always be preserved. Preserving democracy means protecting the independence of our parliament in the public eyes, as well as the operations of its duties. It has always been a precedent of our republic and past parliaments to never bring the presiding officer into the realm of political attacks or aspersions, based on the foundation of protecting the dignity of our parliamentary institutions. Erskine May's parliamentary practice on page 138 speaks to constructive contempt, as it states, and I quote, "Indignities offered to the House by words spoken or writings published reflecting on its character or proceedings have been published by both the Lords and the Commons upon the principle and that such act of abuse tend to obstruct the Houses in the performance of their functions by diminishing the respect due to them," end quote. So, honorable members, in deciding whether a prima facie case of contempt has been made out, the chair must carefully consider the facts alleged and all the information placed before her. I have done just that and find that a prima facie case of contempt has indeed been made out. I so rule and refer this matter to the Committee of Privileges for consideration and report.
Oh, well done, MP Aina Ali. She did really well sitting in for the Speaker of the House. And as she said, and I could not agree more, they had to uphold the constructive contempt. And all the PNM wanted to do was, of course, was disrupt and tarnish and make proceedings difficult. I wonder what Penny had to say about this. I think she said she doesn't want to be silenced.
As I'm concerned, that is just a distraction for my budget presentation, and I will not be muzzled.
What's your next step after this?
Well, I mean, they have made a rule, so we would have to wait and see what they are going to do. But as far as I'm concerned, today was the day when the opposition leader presents her response. You know, so yeah. And that's not going to distract from the fact that the population would have still, I mean, it's carried live. So if that's the intention, as I said, I will not be muzzled.
Well, nobody is silencing you, Penny, Miss One said. You remember, listen, the speaker had, what she is, the vice speaker, the deputy speaker has to be fair. Nobody is asking you to be silenced when you really should be silent. Okay, so nobody is trying to muzzle you, but what goes around comes around. Take a look at this.
Government has moved a motion of privilege against UNC Senator Anil Roberts for statements he made in the public domain against President of the Senate, Christine Kangaloo. The motion was brought by Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Franklin Kahn, on Tuesday. He said during a broadcast of the program Dogla Politics, Senator Roberts used satirical subtext to allege that in the discharge of her duties as presiding officer, the President of the Senate is biased towards him. Senator Kahn said there are respectable and dignified ways to challenge the rule of the Senate and the decisions of the chair. He said Senator Roberts has brought the Senate as a whole into public ridicule.
I submit that the Senator has committed a most egregious contempt of this esteemed Senate. And in this regard, Madam President, I move that this matter be referred to the Committee of Privileges for investigation and report. I beg to move.
The Senate President referred the matter for the consideration of the Vice President of the Senate. Last week, Senator Roberts was put out of the Senate after he was asked to apologize for comments he made in the chamber.
All you remember that? And then he had to come and apologize because the committee, the privilege committee, said that he had to apologize. You see, I tell you, they're going through a stage of dementia. All you're forgetting, all you mustn't forget what has taken place. All right? Listen, I want to welcome and say thank you to all our YouTubers. Hey, all our YouTubers. Anthony Ford, Darrell Ali, George Ramdeen, Ren Rodney. Who else again, boy? Anthony Medford. That name sounding familiar. Darrell Ali, I said that just now. Riaz, Rajab, Joan, Bisnat. Thank you all. And I want you all to keep, put your comments so we can share it at our next live, all right? But I want to thank all our YouTubers for joining in together with our Facebook viewers as well. Thank you all for coming on. Share the live. We want everybody to hear the hypocrisy of the opposition. They want one thing for them and something for somebody else. But this is why it is called Real Talk. We are real. We're not going to compromise. I might be a little biased sometimes, right? But who cares about that? My co-host is going to ensure that we stay real. That is for sure. I am telling you.
Oh, that was a question in there?
I just threw that in because that's the truth, right? You will ensure that we stay real.
But it's really rich though. And this is a classic case of do so, don't like so, because it was really hard to look at the way that even the Speaker of the House for the PNM, how she used to treat with members of the then opposition when the UNC was in opposition. And they literally were gagged. They were literally on their back foot. They couldn't say anything. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't make public the egregious behavior that the PNM was conducting, that the things that they were doing to the population. And now that things have flipped around. They don't like it. They cannot handle it, right? So this just seems very karmic to me. This just seems like a classic case of what goes around comes around, and I feel we're going to have many more of this. And nobody's trying to muzzle Penny. As hard as we try, it doesn't seem to be working. We have said many times that she needs to sit down and shut up, and it's not working. So nobody can muzzle her, and we are not here to stifle the democratic process or how things actually work in Parliament. But oh gosh, we're just asking for a level of fairness. What do you say, Esther?
I agree with you. We are asking for a level of fairness, and we always have to understand that what goes around comes around. We can't get away from that. Karma is a nasty thing, but it is a real thing. As a woman of the cloth, I always say, despite all that I am saying here, I put God first through Jesus Christ in my life, because I know how people is out here. They're wicked, they're deceitful. And right now we are seeing this through the PNM. They can't take what they gave. You understand? But just remember, what all you give will come back, and it might come back worse than what all you give out. Remember that, because you suffer the people for 9+ years. We ain't talking about the region before. We're talking about the 9+ years. So listen, our time is gone, and it is Friday. I want you all to be safe. And again, I want to wish Diwali to all my Hindu brothers and sisters on Sunday. I know you all I'm going to be preparing over the weekend on Sunday for Monday. Do be safe. Take care. God's blessing upon each and every one of you. We love you. We're going to be back here on Tuesday. And don't forget to share our live, because people need to hear what we are saying. Some people may not want to hear it, and that is okay. But have a wonderful week. Stay blessed. Remember, God loves you. I love you, and that's the way it should be. Stay happy. Don't lose your joy. Continue to fight for Trinidad and Tobago to go forward. Bye.